Universal's new Epic Universe theme park revealed, Nintendo Harry Potter Dark Universe, and more. There's the website, IGN, but it's on all the different websites. I am rather excited for this. Maybe, the future is theme parks for now for your entertainment needs, if you can afford to take the trip to one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one advantage of living in Florida.
Well, I understand that it's a lot more cost effective to go to Universal than it is to Disney.
And they have more stuff.
And they're going to have more, it sounds like.
Yeah, this is a brand new theme park, and we were speculating on this a while back, and I kept thinking, what are the different parks going to be? Because we knew Nintendo was going to be one of the sections, but we knew there were other sections. Well, they finally revealed what they are.
Yeah.
Universal's new Epic Universe theme park revealed, Nintendo Harry Potter Dark Universe, and more. Universal Orlando Resort has revealed the first details of 2025's Universal Epic Universe theme park, a portal-connected land that will send fans to the worlds of Nintendo, Harry Potter, How to Train Your Dragon, the monster-filled Dark Universe, and Celestial Park. Universal Epic Universe is being called Universal's most ambitious theme park yet, and it looks to include over 50 attractions, entertainment, dining, and shopping experiences. These experiences will be spread across Super Nintendo World, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. So they have Harry Potter sections in the other two parks. This park's section for Harry Potter will be the Ministry.
Well, think about it. It makes perfect sense that they expand Harry Potter. That's one of their most popular attractions.
Yeah,
right?
You get people still coming to those parks, in the other parks. So yeah, and I've been to
people are coming back and going to the same things over and over again.
Over and over again.
If you now give them more new stuff, holy cow, people will squee.
Be interesting if they tie this Ministry of Magic to Hogwarts Legacy, the game that came out. That might be interesting.
I would not be surprised. I bet you there will be something there.
So there's How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, Dark Universe, and Celestial Park. Okay, so let's move on. Let's go down. Speaking of Celestial Park, it will be the first world fans will explore when they first enter Universal Epic Universe, and alongside putting the park back in theme park with acres of rolling gardens, chasing waterways, and strolling pathways, alongside architecture inspired by astronomical and mythical environments, it will be the gateway into the other worlds. Just please include benches.
Yes, of course.
This was a complaint for Galaxy's Edge that there were no benches anywhere. Let people sit down after they walk a bit. All right.
Exactly.
A portal into our favorite worlds. We'll get to the fun of Celestial Park as planned.
Actually, you know what? More than benches, make the benches look like they belong in whatever world you're in.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. We'll get to the fun Celestial Park as planned in a moment, but the biggest landmarks will be the portals that will take guests to other worlds of their favorite properties. Universal Epic Universe is all about immersion and telling a larger story, and Celestial Park is being built on the centerpiece of that tale.
Such a novel concept. I can't imagine anyone else would, any other parks wouldn't have done that by now. Shocking.
Remember Disney in the old days when they used to use
I do. That's why this is all so sad.
The first portal will take guests to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, Universal Orlando's third Harry Potter land, following Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley.
I was just going to say, as you go through it, do you have to say Diagon Alley?
Maybe. You get to go on the train between the two parks.
The
two park bus. You can actually go on the Harry Potter train and go was it the
I want one of those chocolate frogs.
You can get them there. They don't.
They
don't jump though.
Oh yeah, well, give me an opportunity. They'll jump.
I've had a cold cake before. They sell those there too.
Cool.
According to the official description, guests will discover a different era of the Wizarding World, an all-new land that blends 1920s Wizarding Paris from Warner Brothers Pictures' Fantastic Beasts and the iconic Ministry of Magic from the Harry Potter series. I knew they were planning to do something with Fantastic Beasts, but that series crashed and burned a bit, didn't it?
Doesn't really matter though, because it's part of the lore, and the fans are still going to enjoy it. It just fills out the immersion,
So that's a picture I have up right now. This is a picture from one of the Harry Potter parks right now.
Yeah.
But this is the other park, and as you see, the little Yoshis. I remember when I first saw clips of the Japanese park, and I was a little flabbergasted because I thought it was a game at first, and I was like, no, those are actual animatronics moving around.
Yep. Yep.
Super Nintendo World is up next, and it will serve as Orlando's much anticipated version of the Mario themed land and is already opened in Japan and California. Per Universal, this will be a land where guests will enter the iconic pipe and discover a new way to play as they step into the worlds of beloved characters like Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, and Donkey Kong. For those with a love of dragons, How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk will be one portal not to be missed. Once guests enter this land, they will be able to soar with dragons in a colorful world filled with Viking adventures based on the widely popular How to Train Your Dragon film
That's
franchise.
the key. Between dragons and Vikings, even if you've never seen those movies, you're like, oh, I could get into this.
That's a clip from a Universal Beijing resort, I think, where they did a play or something.
Cool, cool.
How to Train Your Dragon. I'm just throwing random things in there.
Yeah.
And have you seen those movies, the How to Train Your Dragon?
I saw the
movies?
first one, yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
Okay. Hold on, let me get back into this. Last up is the spooky Dark Universe.
Yeah. I was a little reticent until, some people I admire kind of, alleviated my concerns, yeah.
A place where guests will encounter everything from the experiments of Dr. Victoria Frankenstein to the shadowy landscape where monsters roam in a world of myth and mystery. And yes, this will be the same name as Universal's shared Monster Universe, which we're still waiting to get off the ground. Maybe they're seeing how the attractions do at the park. But the interesting, that's actually a picture from one of the Halloween Horror Nights mazes.
That is the other
Returns, yeah.
That is the other key that a lot of people are pointing out. You put in a Dark Universe, Universal Monsters section of the park that's, freestanding all year round. Well, let's face it, people are going to love it because there's people that are going to enjoy it all year round. But then for your Halloween, to do, then you do it up big, right? And you've already got the built-in structures and everything. And yeah, the images that I saw, I was like, okay. I especially like this interpretation of the Frankenstein monster. My concern was, of course, wait, Victoria Frankenstein? Are we just getting a gender swap for no reason? Come to find out that everyone that was reporting on it, this comes from that park place, was saying, yeah, this is the granddaughter of Victor Frankenstein. They're not changing the lore; they're changing the time frame. This is a more modern day kind of thing. I'm like, oh, okay, that I can live with, but I had a little concern. This is their problem, not mine. There's already been 2 versions of Victoria Frankenstein in fiction. One was that movie that you were telling me about,
Lady Frankenstein, yeah,
from Lady Frankenstein. The other is from Marvel Comics. So it's like, yeah, you got to be real careful here that we don't end up with some sort of a rights issue. But there is no doubt that is. And this was my biggest concern. What are these creatures going to look like? What is Frankenstein going to look like? What is the Wolfman going to look like? And it's like, okay, they look enough like the Universal characters, but kind of a little bit updated. I'm digging it. I'm really, really digging it.
Do you know what my guess is behind this? They're probably wanting to make it distinct from the old Universal monsters, but maybe treating it as like a follow-up to those old movies.
Yeah.
It also could be maybe they're testing the waters. If these theme park characters, these new characters are creating this theme park area prove popular, then maybe they could use them as a basis for a film series.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. If you do it in a theme park like this, you've seen it at many different theme parks. Sometimes they rework things, they change things. You could call it a retcon, but since every day is a new story, that's perfectly fine, So they try something, the fans don't like it, they rejigger it a little bit, then the fans start to really dig it, and they're like, okay, let's codify this. Let's go ahead and do a movie,
I've really enjoyed their Halloween Horror Nights where they have the mazes, and they've done mazes based on the classic monsters as well as the newer stuff too. So I went to one that was based on Dracula one year.
Good.
You think they'll do a Dracula themed area?
Oh yeah, I've already seen the artwork for that. That's another one that, I'm like, okay. I didn't really like the outfit that I'm wearing, but it's an outfit. If it doesn't catch on, they'll change it. But
here's the tricky part. this is Halloween Horror Nights. The things, it's clearly aimed at adults, not really
Right.
for kids, right?
Right.
They even serve alcohol there. You can get a beer, or you can get shots, and you can go to these. I don't want to say tawdry shows, but like they're not Disney type shows. You understand? It's not
Yeah.
necessarily supposed to be a family outing. They
Mhm.
do the Bill and Ted show. They
Interesting.
used to do it each year. Yeah, it was Bill and Ted, and then they would encounter all the movie characters of the movies that came out over the summer. And I
Oh,
think
that's
one
cool.
year, one of the villains was Britney Spears. After she shaved her head, she was the villain in
Oh,
one,
God.
one year.
That's
of the
just
show.
crazy.
But they always had the actors playing Bill and Ted and what they were dealing with, from the time travel movies. But,
Yeah.
So let's see though. But there's also Celestial Park. So much more than just the Gateway to the Lands. Thrill seekers will be delighted to know Starfall racers will be the star attraction of this world. The dual launching racing coasters will see groups of guests race at speeds for up to 62 miles per hour and heights of up to 133 feet along 5,000 feet of track. Starfall racers will also feature a maneuver called Celestial Spin, in which two coaster vehicles perform an inverted crisscross while speeding through the air. Wow.
Yeah.
Who knows? This could be the star attraction of the park for all we know. Kids will be able to escape the Florida heat with the Astronomica interactive wet play area, space filled with fountains that also serve as a compass to the other worlds. Almost sounds like those dancing fountains in Epcot where kids could play around with them.
Yeah.
Have a ton of food options, including Atlantic, a full-service surf and turf restaurant set in a Victorian aquarium, complete with captivating views of Celestial Park. I'm in.
Yeah.
That might be kind of neat, right?
Yep.
It'd be interesting if one area of this park was like a steampunk area. I don't know. That might be kind of neat if they did like a steampunk theme or something. But there will also be the Blue Dragon Pan Asian restaurant, which comes with a menu of authentic dishes from China, Japan, and Thailand, and decor of neon dragons and ethereal lanterns. Additionally, there will also be a barbecue joint called the Oak Star Tavern and a pizza shop called Pizza Moon alongside the Nintendo Superstore, Moonship Chocolates, and Celestial Sweets, and much more. Yeah, they're going big with this. I'll say this for Universal. I'm not always on board with their movies because I think they play it safe too much, but they know how to do parks. I'll say that. So,
Yep.
I don't know. What do you think, huh?
I think this is going to be kind of cool. But I'll wait until you go and tell me how good it is before I come down.
I don't know when I'll be heading up there, but I'll definitely go at some point.
There you go.
It's funny. I had my last graduation present was going to Universal. Maybe that'll be my next one, But because we went to we did the whole Harry Potter thing the last time I graduated.
I could actually see you go for like, I don't know, I could see like going for a weekend, and maybe
Yeah,
one
you do
day,
that, yeah.
one day all Universal monsters, and then the next day
Yeah.
all Harry Potter, or vice versa.
How do you make it safe? Well, you know what it is, though? I'll say this about Universal Monsters. There is something known as what I call the safe monsters and the safe horror. And I think Universal horror, at least the old school stuff, I think it's kind of safe enough for kids, don't you?
I think so. Yeah, because I remember seeing the old Universal Monster movies literally in grade school, and they showed
Yeah.
them in our school.
Yeah.
For the movie nights. They were
Interesting.
horror, in inverted commas, but no one was really scared by them. You got the, I get that this is supposed to be scary, but I'm not scared.
You know what's funny though? When the original Frankenstein premiered in theaters, there was outrage. People were fainting in the audience. For starters, on screen when you see the hanging body, that was the first time you ever saw a hanging body in a movie. Was in that movie.
Yeah.
Now it's commonplace, and we think,
See,
it's just
but
a dummy. But
here's
back then,
the thing, though.
people freaked out.
I like to keep these things in perspective because I do believe that our historical memory, what we get from, and let's face it, most of history is coming from things like the media. The media played up people passing out and running out of the theaters and stuff. That was marketing. That wasn't necessarily the thing that happened. A lot of people would go see these movies and go, I'm not seeing what all the hype was about. It's a good movie, but, And you got to also remember, you're right. You didn't see a lot of, a hanged body and this and that and the other. But there were pre-code movies where there was a lot of things in them that people
Yes.
to this day would still raise their eyebrows at. So
Yes.
nobody was overly shocked. They knew this was a possibility going to a movie like this.
I have one of those pre-code movies that has Barbara Stanwyck in it.
Yes, I know the one you mean.
Okay. Yeah, the ruining men's lives with her beauty.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
What was I going to say though? What was I getting? But I did want to make a point that even like the first Hammer Dracula movie, when the credits start rolling, you see blood pouring over splotching onto the coffin, and that was a huge deal back then. You didn't see blood like that in a movie, like a color movie, like the big red blood. And I suspect in some parts of the world they had a different alternate opening title that wasn't that coffin with the blood on it.
And again, with the Universal ones, think about it. You don't see blood. You don't see fangs. You know that the fangs were something that started with Hammer. That wasn't a Universal thing.
You're going to have fangs in this park,
probably,
because you want to sell them to customers.
Well, look at what they did with Renfield. You know, that was, you know, they nod to the stereotypical, you know, two incisor, you know, fangs, but this was after you'd seen him through the rest of the movie with like all sharp teeth, you know, and then at one point for a certain reason these two grow out longer. But right. You know, Renfield was a great example of what I think we're going to be seeing with this. It's supposed to be the same monsters you remember, little bit updated, you know, and it kind of works.